Fear is a fundamental human emotion, a protective mechanism that has kept us alive for centuries. It triggers our fight or flight response, heightening our awareness of potential dangers in our modern lives. Fear often emerges in less physical, but equally paralyzing forms: fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown. Why do we allow these fears to dictate our choices? Often, it stems from past experiences. Maybe a failed project led to a fear of trying again, or harsh criticism silenced your voice. These experiences can create mental barriers, reinforcing the belief that change is too risky. But what if we shifted our perspective on fear? Instead of viewing it as an obstacle, we can see it as a signpost directing us toward growth. Every time we encounter fear, it signals that we are stepping outside our comfort zone, where real transformation occurs. Reflect on moments when you pushed through fear, whether it was public speaking, a job change, or moving to a new place. How did it feel afterward? Often, these are the moments that led to significant personal victories. Fear can also be a source of motivation. That adrenaline rush we experience can be harnessed to drive us forward. It's about acknowledging fear without letting it control us. By identifying what scares us, we begin to take the power away from those fears. Take a moment to reflect. What fears are holding you back? Naming them is the first step toward conquering them. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, but the ability to act in spite of it. Part 2. The cost of inaction. We often talk about the risks of change, but what about the risks of not changing? Staying in your comfort zone may feel safe in the short term, but in the long run, it can be one of the most dangerous choices you make. Why? Because inaction leads to stagnation. Imagine a river that stops flowing; it becomes stagnant, lifeless, and murky. The same thing happens to us when we avoid change and remain in our familiar routines. We start to feel stuck, unfulfilled, and sometimes even resentful of the life we've created. One of the greatest regrets people express later in life isn't the risk they took, but the opportunities they missed by staying in place. Whether it's a career you never pursued, a passion you never explored, or a relationship that could have been. The cost of inaction is often regret. Think about this. What's the price of playing it safe? When you avoid change, you also avoid growth. Every time you choose comfort over courage, you lose the opportunity to discover something new about yourself, to challenge your limits, or to expand your horizons. But here's the most important part. The cost of inaction compounds over time. The longer you stay still, the harder it becomes to make a move. The inertia builds, and suddenly, years have passed, and you're still in the same place, only now with more fear, more doubt, and fewer options. So, ask yourself, what are you missing out on by not taking that leap? What dreams or possibilities are slipping away while you remain in your comfort zone? Inaction may feel like the safer choice, but it comes at a steep price, one that's paid in opportunities lost. Part 3. Steps to embrace change. Now that we understand the high price of staying still, let's talk about how to actually embrace change. It's easy to say we want to change, but taking that first step often feels overwhelming. The good news is that change doesn't have to happen all at once. By breaking it down into smaller, actionable steps, you can make the process much more manageable and less intimidating. 1. Acknowledge your fear. The first step in embracing change is recognizing what's holding you back. Fear thrives in the unknown, so take the time to identify exactly what you're afraid of. Is it the fear of failure? The fear of being judged? Or maybe it's the fear of leaving behind what's familiar. Writing it down makes it real, and once it's in front of you, it becomes something you can work through. 2. Start small. Change doesn't have to be drastic. In fact, some of the most meaningful transformations come from small, consistent actions. Take tiny steps toward your goal. If you want to switch careers, start by dedicating just 15 minutes a day to researching new opportunities or learning a new skill. These small steps accumulate over time, and before you know it, you're making real progress. 3. Visualize success. Our brains are wired for imagery. When you visualize yourself succeeding, whether it's nailing that presentation, moving to a new city, or starting a new project, you begin to build mental pathways that make those outcomes feel more attainable. Spend a few minutes each day imagining what success looks like for you. Picture it vividly. How does it feel? What's your environment like? Visualization can transform fear into excitement and propel you toward action. 4. Build a support system. Change is hard, but it doesn't have to be lonely. Surround yourself with people who support your journey, whether it's family, friends, or mentors. Having a network of people to encourage and hold you accountable makes all the difference. Share your goals with them, ask for advice, or simply let them know you're working through a big change. You'll be surprised at how much easier it becomes when you know others are cheering you on. 5. Celebrate progress, not perfection. We often get so focused on the end result that we forget to acknowledge the small victories along the way. But change is a process, and every step forward counts. Celebrate the progress you make, even if it's just one small action today. By focusing on progress, not perfection, you will stay motivated and build the momentum you need to keep moving forward. Part 4. Embracing the journey. When we talk about change, it's easy to focus solely on the outcome, the end goal we're working toward. But what often gets overlooked is the importance of embracing the journey itself. Change isn't just about reaching the destination. It's about who you become along the way. The power of the process. Think of any meaningful transformation, whether it's learning a new skill, building a business, or improving your health. None of these changes happen overnight. There are setbacks, adjustments, moments of doubt, and plenty of lessons learned. The truth is, growth happens in the process, not at the finish line. If you focus only on the end goal, you miss out on the value of what you're experiencing in the moment. Patience and persistence. One of the biggest challenges we face when embracing change is impatience. We want results, and we want them fast, but lasting change takes time. Patience is key here. Understand the progress might be slow, and there will be days when it feels like you're not moving at all. But every small step, every tiny improvement, is bringing you closer to your goal. The journey also requires persistence. There will be setbacks. You might feel like quitting, but resilience is built through these struggles. Each challenge you face along the way makes you stronger and more prepared for future obstacles. Remember, the path to success is rarely linear. It's full of twists, turns, and detours, and that's okay. Finding joy in the process. One of the best ways to stay motivated is to find joy in the process of change, instead of treating it as something you have to endure. Look for the positive moments along the way. Celebrate your small victories. Take pride in the progress you're making, no matter how incremental. This mindset shift makes the journey more enjoyable and keeps you engaged in the long run. Think of the journey like climbing a mountain. If you only focus on reaching the top, you will miss the beauty of the landscape around you, the fresh air, and the sense of accomplishment with each step upward. The same applies to personal growth. Embrace the journey, not just the destination. Learning from setbacks. Lastly, part of embracing the journey is understanding that setbacks are inevitable. You will face challenges, but how you respond to those challenges is what defines you. Each setback is an opportunity to learn something valuable, whether it's about yourself, your approach, or the world around you. When you hit a roadblock, instead of seeing it as a failure, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This mindset transforms obstacles into stepping stones, making you more resilient and adaptable. The more you learn from your setbacks, the quicker you'll bounce back and continue moving forward. Part 5. Real-life examples of courageous change. Now that we've explored the concepts of fear, inaction, and embracing the journey, let's look at some real-life examples of people who faced their fears head-on and created transformative change in their lives. These stories remind us that change is possible for anyone, no matter where you start or what you're up against. 1. J.S.K. Rowling, from rejection to global success. Before J.S.K. Rowling became a household name, she was a single mother struggling to make ends meet. She faced numerous rejections from publishers when she first presented Harry Potter, a story she believed in with all her heart. Imagine the fear of failing over and over again. But she didn't let the fear of rejection stop her. Rowling persisted, and we know the result. One of the most successful book series in history, with a lasting impact on readers worldwide. Her story teaches us that failure and rejection are part of the journey, not the end of it. Rowling's willingness to face those fears and keep going was the key to her ultimate success. 2. Thomas Edison, failure as a pathway to innovation. When we think of Thomas Edison, we often think of his great successes, like the invention of the light bulb. But what most people don't realize is that he failed thousands of times before perfecting his invention. Imagine failing 1,000 times. Many people would have given up long before reaching success. Edison didn't. In fact, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's resilience teaches us that failure is not a dead end. It's simply part of the process, Every failure brought him one step closer to success. And that's a lesson we can all carry with us as we face our own challenges. 3. Elon Musk betting everything on change. Elon Musk is a modern-day example of someone who constantly embraces change, often at great personal risk, whether it's with SpaceX, Tesla, or his other ventures. Musk has faced enormous challenges, financial difficulties, technical failures, and public skepticism. There were points when he was on the verge of bankruptcy, yet he persisted, betting everything he had on his vision for the future. Musk's story shows us that great change requires great risk. His willingness to face uncertainty and push through fear has not only changed his life, but has had a profound impact on industries and the world. Conclusion. These stories demonstrate that no one is immune to fear, failure, or setbacks. The key to real transformation is how you respond to these challenges. It's not about avoiding fear, but embracing it as part of the journey, whether it's starting a new career, pursuing a dream, or facing personal challenges. Remember that the courage to change lies within all of us. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more motivational content. Let's all continue on this journey of growth and transformation together.